Hi everyone, we're back with another video. I actually read your comments, listened to your requests, and I am back with the big reveal of the big bank that I used to get to $100,000 in credit. In this video, we're going to talk about Navy Federal, my big bank that I've used for over 14 years and $500,000 of credit. So if this is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned and we're going to get straight into it. So first, how I even began with Navy Federal Credit Union. I am a family member was an active duty military personnel person. So I was grandfathered in, quote unquote, grandfathered in, meaning since I had a family relationship with the person who was an active duty Navy personnel, I was able to become a part of Navy Federal Credit Union as a member. So with that, this person added me to their, I think at the time it was a Navy Federal Visa credit card, and I was added on as an authorized user. With that, I absorbed all of the history on that credit card. So I absorbed their on-time payments, I absorbed their credit history, and I absorbed their credit limit. And the great thing about being added as an authorized user is that person did not absorb my credit history, because at the time I was only 17 years old and I did not have any credit history at all. I had never had a credit card, had never had a mortgage, never had anything credit related. So when that person added me as an authorized user, I absorbed the several years of credit building that they had done on just that card. That is another gem. If you are a person who is struggling with your personal credit, you need to be added on as an authorized user to someone's account who meets the following requirements. A, they need to have a good credit limit. I always say 10,000 and above. 2, they need to have on-time payments for at least 2 years minimum, but 5 years is most desirable because that is something that you would absorb. So that was the first step. I was added on as an authorized user to a Visa credit card at the time. Second, I was added on as a authorized user or a joint owner onto a Navy Federal checking account. So that automatically gave me membership to Navy Federal. So once that happened and I got of age, when I turned 18, I actually was eligible to have my own personal checking account with Navy Federal. So I opened my own personal checking account. I opened my own personal savings account. I opened my own certified deposit, which we could talk about in another video. So I started building my relationship with Navy Federal. All of these things are going to count later in a video that we're going to do about Navy Federal's internal scoring model. Write this down, take note. This is a gem. You want to build your internal score with Navy Federal, and these are the things that help you to build. After that, I got a Visa Go Rewards credit card. This was actually my very first credit card. I had at 18 years old, and they gave me a $3,000 credit limit at the time. At the end of me having this Visa Go Rewards card, I had $15,000 in a credit limit that I never even asked for. I never once asked for a credit limit increase. I never once did anything that implied that I really wanted a credit limit increase. Navy Federal saw my direct deposits deposited into my checking account. They saw my my credit score, my personal credit score, because they do soft pulls on your credit score regularly. They saw the amount of money that I maintained in that checking account. And every 6 months or every year, they raised my credit limit by $1,000. So in 10 years, I was at $15,000 without any hard inquiry and without asking for anything. However, if you are a person that is aggressively going after credit and you want to get the highest limit possible, you can definitely ask for credit limit increases. A gem is to ask for a soft pull. Ask for a soft pull credit limit increase. And you can ask if you can get an automatic credit limit increase. You can call in to the customer service and you can actually do that. And let me make a correction. I said I only got a $15,000 credit limit increase over the 10 years. I actually got a $22,000 credit limit increase over the 10 years. And the last credit limit increase that I received, I did ask for it. That was the only credit limit increase that I asked for, and it took me from $15,000 to $25,000, and we will speak about that in our next video. So stay tuned of how to go from $10,000 to $25,000, which was a $15,000 credit limit increase in 24 hours with no hard pull. None of these credit limit increases that I received pulled from my credit and affected me in any derogatory way. So next, after I received that credit card, I received my first auto loan. So my first car I won't disclose, but it was a luxury car. So I got a $40,000 auto loan with Navy Federal. At that time, I had 0.1 interest. It was 0%, honestly. It was 0%. It was the lowest APR that you could ever receive. And this was in the year 2010. So Navy Federal has since raised their interest rates due to the federal government. And we will go over that in another video as well. So stay tuned for that. If you want to learn how to get approved up to $100,000 by Navy Federal, auto loan at the lowest interest rates, I am the queen of low interest rates and 0% interest rates, as I stated in the previous video with the $100,000 and 0% interest. So if you have not watched that video, please check it out, because I literally got $100,000 plus on a brand new business in business credit at 0% interest. So if you have not seen that, definitely go check it out. But back to this video. So after I got approved for that auto loan at basically 0% interest, it was $40,000 for a brand new luxury car. I paid my payments on time and it was great. So I was building my internal score. I had an auto loan. I had a CD, which is a, certified deposit or custom deposit, certificate of deposit. These things were building my score. I had my checkings, I had my savings, I had my Navy Federal Go Rewards card. So all of these things are helping to build my internal score. So when it was time for me to move out of state, I got a $60,000 personal loan from Navy Federal. I think at the time it was like 4% interest or 5% interest. It was very, very, very low. The lowest, I've always gotten the lowest interest rates you can possibly get with Navy Federal in every single credit product I ever had. So that was a personal loan. It was $60,000. I used it to move out of state and do some other things. So again, that adds to my internal score. So I had that, paid it all back on time. I paid it off early, actually. Same thing with my auto loan. When I went back to upgrade my car, and this time I got a $60,000 car, same thing. I had a 0% interest, 0.1 interest rate. And all I did was trade in my previous car and paid off that loan with the equity that I had in the car, because I doubled up on my payments. So I had extreme equity in the car, paid off that previous loan, got a new loan for $60,000. They gave it to me happily. We never had any issues at all. So After that, I got another personal loan from Navy Federal, which was another like $60,000, I believe, was the next personal loan. So I did the same thing, paid it off. So all of these accounts are reflecting positively on my credit report, and we are going to do another video in the future about how to build your credit profile, your personal credit profile, so that you can get approved for these high limits of $50,000, $60,000, $100,000. Building out a great personal credit profile, it requires a mix of different credit lines. So you need to have personal loans, personal bank loans. You need to have auto loans. You need to have mortgages if you have a home. You need to have credit cards. You need to have a mix of credit so that you are looked at favorably by the lenders. So that's what I did. I got another personal loan. And so more time went by. I ended up getting a few more auto loans over the years. You know, each time I went up $10,000 to $20,000, and I always paid it back on time, and I always was ahead of schedule with my payments. So Navy Federal will lend me anything at this point because I have a history, I have a relationship with them. Any product that I ever received from them, I always paid back on time, and I always paid back early. So within that relationship, I was actually able to also bring in my family members as members into Navy Federal, because once you're a member, you can then bring in your family members as, you know, members through you. That is called being grandfathered in. Other ways that you can get into Navy Federal is obviously by being an active duty Navy personnel, or a veteran, or a contractor with the Department of Defense. There's several ways, and I'm going to do a video simply on how you can get into Navy Federal and retain a membership with them. Also, I'll throw in the backdoor ways that you can get into Navy Federal as a member. So as we go on building the relationship with Navy Federal, I actually got a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, and I will do a separate video about that. You can also get a mortgage with Navy Federal. I believe I've had like 4 personal loans with Navy Federal, 4 to 6 personal loans with Navy Federal. I've also had 4 auto loans with Navy Federal. So that is what essentially made up the bulk of the money that I received with Navy Federal. So back in 2021, I said, I have never built a business relationship with Navy Federal. So what do I need to do to actually do that? So I actually did some steps first before I pursued a business relationship. And one of the steps that I did that's going to be key is I actually did a product change or an upgrade to my personal credit card. So remember back in the story, I told you all that I started out, the first product I received from Navy Federal through credit was a Visa Go Rewards card. And that card was $3,000. That was the limit that they initially gave me. So up until 2021, I was at $15,000 with my Go Rewards card, and I always had the lowest interest rate that you could possibly have. Another thing that I had, which I do not know if they offer it anymore at Navy Federal, I will actually do an update on this, is they used to offer insurance. And this is very, very, very vital for entrepreneurs, people who have fluctuating income. You can get insurance on your credit card. So if you were to ever lose your job, these are for people who are still in 9-to-5 positions. If you were ever to lose your job or lose your income, there is an insurance that they have that you can put on your credit card. And for a specified period of time, they will pay your payments for you. This is a gem, guys. This is a gem. I never see anyone talk about this. and I had it for 14 years. So there was a period of time where I was not working and I lost my income, and Navy Federal paid for my credit card for an entire year. So if you guys want to see a video on this is something that I never see, please put it down in the comments, because this is very vital to people who are leaving their jobs, who have to go out on FMLA, who get sick unexpectedly, who lose their income due to contracts. This all applies to you. Navy Federal will pay for your credit as long as you put that insurance on your card. So, going back to how I upgraded from the Go Rewards to the Flagship, okay? So, just some things about the Flagship. Flagship is Navy Federal's premier credit card. Premier meaning the best of the best, the creme de la creme, as the Centurion card or the Platinum card is to American Express. The Flagship card is to Navy Federal. So one way that I actually did this product change and I qualified for this card was I changed the type of checking account that I had with Navy Federal. Initially, I just had the regular checking account. All of these years, I just had the regular checking account. And what I did was I upgraded my account to the Flagship checking account, which does a lot for you. And I'm going to create a video about the benefits of having a Flagship checking account with Navy Federal. If you have $1,500 that you just have sitting around and not doing anything, I totally recommend that you get the Flagship checking account, because it will qualify you and give you more benefits than any other product in Navy Federal. So what I did was I opened up that Flagship checking account, and I put maybe like $2,500 in it just to sit there. And I waited 1 week for that money to sit there. And I called into Navy Federal. I called the customer service line, and I told them, I said, I've had this Visa Go Rewards card for over a decade. Am I eligible to upgrade my card from the Go Rewards card to the Flagship card? They said yes. Then I said, oh, what are the probability of me being approved for this card? They said, we can't tell you that over the phone. So I said, okay, I'm going to call you guys back. So I went on to NavyFederal.com and I went on to the pre-approval tool. So when you go into the pre-approval tool, you put in your information, they do a soft pull on your credit, and they let you know what products you are eligible for. So lo and behold, the Flagship rewards card came up, and I said, okay, I'm good to apply. So I called Navy Federal back, and I talked to the customer service representative, and she said, hey, I still don't know if you're gonna be approved, but if you want to apply, go ahead and apply. Mind you, I told you I had only put $2,500 in that Flagship rewards card account, checking account. I had all the rest of my money in my other checking account because I left my other regular checking account open. So everyone, I'm ashamed to say this because I am supposed to be Financially Free Dee, the, you know, credit guru of using other people's money. I was denied. I was denied. I applied and I was denied. So I was really sad and I was very disappointed, and I'm like, what is going on here? Why am I denied? So the beautiful thing about Navy Federal is they send you a letter that tells you why you were denied. So I get the letter, I look at the internal score. The internal score is great, all these different things. And the reason why I was denied was because essentially I didn't really have the money to meet the criteria of what I was asking for. So remember, the Go Rewards card had a $15,000 credit limit. I was asking for $30,000 on the Flagship rewards card. So what I did was exactly what I told you guys to do in the 100K at 0% interest video. I started depositing money into my Flagship rewards account. And as soon as I hit $10,000, I contacted Navy Federal in the portal this time, not over the customer service line. I contacted them in the Navy Federal portal and I appealed. I asked them, listen, I know I qualify for $30,000. I need you to reconsider my application. And so they did. And it took approximately 7 days for me to be approved at $30,000 at the absolute lowest interest rate that you could be approved at that time. And I think it was 5%. I want to say it was 5% at that time. And so they approved me. They did the product change. So I went from the Go Rewards card to the Flagship rewards card. And I got no hard inquiry on my credit. Zero. I told them I wanted a soft pull. Do not hard pull my credit. And they didn't do it. And I was approved. So I am going to do a video specifically on what happens and what you should do if you get denied for a credit limit increase or a product. Because there are things that you can do to change that no into a yes, because that's exactly what I did. And it took approximately 7 days. So this whole process took less than 2 weeks for me to go from $15,000 in a credit limit that took me 10 years to build to $30,000, which is an additional $15,000 in less than 2 weeks. Now, there was great benefits with this Flagship rewards card, which again, I'm going to make a video telling you all about the Flagship rewards card, how to get approved for it, the benefits that comes with it, how you should use it so that you can actually turn your credit into cash. We're going to do a whole playlist of Navy Federal and how to make other people's money work for you to build wealth. That is what we are here to do. So stay tuned. These videos are coming. All right. So after I built this relationship and I got that credit limit to $30,000, I said, all right, now it's time to move on to the business side. I have zero relationship with Navy Federal business, and I had a business. And so I had started building a relationship with one of the other big banks that I'm going to reveal. And that's where I got the real bag from. That's what got me to 250K, is that bank there. So if you want to see the reveal for that bank, you want to stay tuned, watch all of these videos, because I'm going to take you step by step on my real journey. Everything that I'm telling you in these videos, not only have I used for myself, I've used on my clients, and I'm going to show you guys with real videos and real testimonials that I am telling you the truth. I am going to show you, because talk is cheap sometimes. If you can't do it for yourself, if you haven't shown me that you've done it for yourself, then why should I listen to you? That's my motto. So now, building on the business side. So the first thing I did was, Navy Federal is archaic, old, ancient. Very, 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 very difficult to build on the business side, especially once the pandemic started. So unlike the personal side of Navy Federal, with the business side, you have to do everything by paper application. You have to, and you cannot do anything in the branches, the local branches. You cannot do anything in the local branches. You have to literally fill everything out online and then upload it if you need any supporting documents or anything like that. So the first thing I did was I went to the branch, because I did not know that you cannot do business banking inside the Navy Federal branches. And the banking manager gave me a business application, and he gave me the phone number to the business line with Navy Federal, which is completely separate from your personal. From your personal line, they have their own representatives and their own protocols. The business side has their own representatives and their own protocols. So I filled out my application. I called the business line and I asked them, what do I need to do to open up a checking account with the Navy Federal business? So they told me that I needed my statement of information, my articles of incorporation, as well as my EIN number. And if I had a Dun & Bradstreet number, I needed to present that to them as well. I also needed to have, you know, the supporting personal documents. I had my ID and my social security card and all of that good, you know, good personal information. So I uploaded my information to the portal, and it took them, I think it took them maybe about 4 business days to approve the checking account. Once the checking account was approved, I was able to go into the bank branch and put money into the account. So what I did was I opened the account with, I believe, $1,000. I opened the account with $1,000, and I had a savings account as well. You have to apply for the savings account. It's not automatic. So I did that, and then I started having all of my income that was from my business go direct deposit into the account. Direct deposit every 2 weeks, every week, every month. I was having direct deposits into the account. And then once I hit $10,000 again, that $10,000 lucky number, guys, I'm trying to tell you, it's a gem. I said, all right, now I'm going to apply for credit. What can I do to get a business credit card with Navy Federal? So I applied for a business credit card, and it's the only business credit card that they actually have in Navy Federal. They only have one, and I was approved for $25,000. And the reason why they approved me for $25,000 was for 2 reasons. On my personal side, I had that, remember that, that Flagship rewards card for $30,000. And then on the business side, with the other big bank that I'm going to reveal, the highest credit card that I had there was $25,000. So Navy Federal automatically approved me for $25,000. So essentially, I've been building and building and building with Navy Federal for 14 years. And every single thing that I've wanted with Navy Federal, I have received. So I just want to tell you all this. Navy Federal is a gem. It is a gem if used properly. It is a gem if you follow the techniques. In this series of Navy Federal videos, I'm going to go over all of the gems that Navy Federal offers. Majority of them I have experienced, a few I have not, and I know people who have. So I'm going to go into detail, step by step by step, on mortgages, home equity lines of credit, on all the business credit card, well, there's only one business credit card, all the personal credit cards, the Navy Federal pledge loan, certificate of deposits, the different checking accounts, the different savings accounts, money market accounts, every single product that Navy Federal offers, I'm going to go over in detail with you, show you how to get approved, show you the strategic planning of using these rewards to your benefits. Because Navy Federal, when I upgraded from my Go Rewards card to my Flagship card, they paid me some rewards automatically. I have used my rewards to buy flights, to go to restaurants, and a whole host of other benefits that come with being a Navy Federal Credit Union member. So, moral of the story on my journey is, it's been a long journey. It's been a fruitful journey. And Navy Federal, I hope I haven't missed anything, but I totaled up. Navy Federal has given me $500,000 over the last 14 years in extended credit. I want to take you guys on the journey so that you can get even more that I've gotten. And I'm going to let you know, since this business journey has just started, I'm going to tell you every single thing that I know to get you hopefully up to that $500,000 on the business side, the business credit side, just as I did on the personal side. So you guys want to stay tuned. We're going to show you how to become financially free through using other people's money to build generational wealth. That is what we are here for. Stay tuned. We are coming back with hit after hit after hit. And this is the Navy Federal Credit Union journey. We're going to talk about how to get to the bag. This was my journey. I hope that you all enjoyed watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Please be sure that you hit that like button. Put a comment in the comment section. Talk about what you want to know in regards to Navy Federal, because if it comes to Navy Federal, 9 times out of 10, I have had it, or I know someone very close to me who has their products. We want to build this community here, give you all the information that you need to become financially free, and I'll see you in the next one.